Hello, I'm Sarah Grady Ackerman. The 2010 Florida Book Awards Gold Medalist in the Visual Arts category is an outstanding work that highlights 20 years of collecting by the staff, donors, and supporters of the Samuel P. Harn Museum of Art at the University of Florida. Jason Stuber and Laura Nemmers are here to tell us about their amazing illustrated guide to the museum's collection, and it is a heavy one. This is really, really nice. Thank you so much for being here, Laura.
Thank you.
And Jason.
Thank you for having us.
And just off the top, well, how exciting is this to receive the gold in this category?
It's very exciting. We're really honored to be part of the Florida Book Awards.
And how about you, Jason?
Yeah, I think it just shows that the amount of art in Florida means enough to be have a visual arts category, and it just helps celebrate Florida's great collections across the state. So we're quite honored to have it.
Absolutely, that is nice. And for people who don't know maybe about the Samuel P. Harn Museum, it's one of the largest university-affiliated museums. Give us an overview, if you would, for people who haven't had the opportunity to go to the museum. Just tell us a little bit about it.
As the catalog says, we're just 20 years old, and the collection has grown from a university gallery collection that started out in the late 50s and 60s, and then in the early 90s we were able to open the museum, and with that came the university collection of about 1,000 works, and since then we've been able to add almost up to just over 8,000 works after 20 years. Okay,
so how did you go about putting this together? Because you have more than 8,000 works. How did you come? How many did you were you set on putting in here?
There's 50 pieces for each collecting area, and each curator got to pick whatever they wanted to put in that, what they felt were the important highlights of their particular collections. We've got 5 major collecting areas, and then we have 2 other collecting areas. And in addition to that, each department of the museum also has sections within the catalog, which really makes the catalog innovative and different than most museum catalogs that just focus on the collections.
How hard was it, Jason, to make those final decisions on what to include and not put in there?
Yeah, curators always want to put more than so we had to control limitations on how many works, and then also get the work shot and photographed, and just conceptualizing how do we coordinate the history plus the collections plus what the registrar and the scientific work we do with the collection, as well as how PR, marketing, and development help us do the work we do and get the word out there.
So this was a huge collaborative effort then by the whole team.
Yeah, the whole team, every department, and you really get to see the working of a museum.
And this is actually a 3-person award. We have Tracy Paff, who's not here today. Tell us about Tracy's involvement and her contribution to this.
Tracy had a difficult job trying to coordinate all the copyright issues with either artists after 1923. 1923 need copyright clearance by either the artist or the artist's estate, and so we have with several hundred works that we had to get permission for, and tracking those down, getting permission, negotiating rights and fees and everything. Tracy had a very difficult job to find people not only in the U.S. but also abroad.
So there's a lot more than goes into this than people may think. So will you tell me, why do you think that this struck gold, winning the gold medal in this category?
Well, we spent a lot of time rephotographing everything in the collection, as Jason just said. We've got beautiful photography. There's lots of photography. And like I said, it's just a really innovative, different type of catalog than what you might normally see for a museum, covering all the different collection areas as well as the history of the museum.
Yeah, tell us a little bit more about that, either one of you, about that it really does detail some of the rich history of the museum.
I think from the very earliest archives we were able to locate. I mean, that was part of a process of learning who we are, going through all the old folders from the last 20 years, trying to figure out the great stories that are embedded there and how the museum has developed from maybe 4 or 5 total staff to over 40 staff now. And just a matter of how the works work with the collections and how we work with campus, with education, and how we outreach to the local community, as well as now reaching across the state of Florida and getting people to notice the great arts here in Florida.
And when you finally go through this and you look at the finished project, or the finished product, what goes through your mind, and just how proud are you of what you all have accomplished?
I'm extremely proud. I mean, there's just a lot of work. Like you said, we all work together within the museum, all the departments, the curators, we all work together as a team, and I think that's a really great thing for us to accomplish.
Absolutely. Jason?
And just being recognized by our peers, and that visual arts is up there with nonfiction and fiction and traditional subject, that the visual arts, again, just recognizing the strengths of the collection and the work we did on the book is quite exceptional. We're quite happy.
Great. Well, thanks so much again,
Thank you so
Jason
much.
and
Thank
Laura,
you.
and congratulations
Thank you
again
so
on
much.
your
Thank
gold
you so
medal.
much.
Yeah, thank you.
Production of this program is made possible in part by a grant from the Florida Humanities Council. Additional support comes from the Florida State University Libraries.